Hello, my name is Sarah Jane Haney. Welcome to today's professional development on using People First Language. We will begin by discussing what it is. So People First Language describes what disability a person has, not what they are. Their disability is not their sole characteristic and should not be used to describe them as a whole person. People First Language puts a person before their disability. We all have unique aspects to us, and one aspect should not be used to describe us solely. A little bit more, people with disabilities are the largest minority group in the United States. That makes up about 1 in 5 people who have a disability in the US. So you probably know multiple people who have a disability. Not all disabilities are visible, but they are all valid. So why does it matter? The first way to devalue someone is through language. Language is so important and can make a huge difference. Language and attitudes are intertwined and drive our actions. People First Language shows good manners and respect to those with disabilities. So now some poor examples that have been heard in our schools and in our community. It's also important to note before I start that I've heard these myself. I have said some of these myself, not knowing the harm that they cause. I like to think of this as you don't know until you know. And so the reason we are having this professional development is so we can do better as educators. So some of the terms that and phrases that have been heard include handicapped, which means disadvantaged, disabled, which can mean broken or be looked at as meaning broken, special needs, which evokes the feeling of pity in many people. So some more examples. They are crazy or they suffer from this disability. They are wheelchair bound. They are epileptic and they achieved or did this despite their disability. Handicapped bathroom or mute. They are mute. So some appropriate language we can start using today, both in the classrooms or just in our lives in general. So using accessible instead of handicapped or disabled. Using appropriate clinical names when possible and when they are known. Saying a person with a disability instead of a disabled person. So again, making sure that you're putting them as a person before their disability and not describing them solely based off of their disability. Using wheelchair users instead of wheelchair bound. So a couple more examples. Children without disabilities, so using that instead of normal or healthy kids. Saying that they receive special education services instead of they are in SPED or they are a SPED kid. Using the words needs instead of has problems with. Any issue somebody has means that it is a need that they have, and we all have needs. So it's important to recognize that. So some important notes is that you should always emphasize abilities instead of disability. So they have more than one ability and one disability, and we should not emphasize that one disability. We should also ask them how they would like to be described, and remember that preferences do vary between people. Don't view people with disabilities as an inspiration just because of their disability. So again, these are different ways that we can start being more respectful to people with disabilities, and it is an ongoing practice and preferences do vary, so it's important to be respectful of each individual. Here are my references. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.